Verticom is international. Information, Quebec 1400, Zulu 112, value 10 knots. Moving forward in 10.
We're on a 2.5-hour flight southeast from Manaus down to Novo Progresso in Para State, and that's said to be one of the most lawless states in the whole of Brazil. The Brazilian government has targeted Novo Progresso as a hotspot for illegal logging. NGOs have said that 80% of the trees extracted are taken illegally. Wherever I look out of the window, I see evidence of forest clearing, and the area cleared is vast. And that's them gone because they're not actually prepared to stay on this landing strip. A plane only a couple of weeks ago was kidnapped, hijacked, stolen at night while the pilots were sleeping, and the guys that stole the plane actually crashed it and killed themselves. So our pilots aren't prepared to leave such a valuable piece of equipment here. It goes to show just how lawless this place is. While I'm here, I'm hoping to make contact with illegal loggers and see how difficult it is to police this problem. We stand out like a sore thumb everywhere we've been today. As soon as we arrived, we've been, basically bogged out by people. The taxi that picked us up, we saw there were two sort of heavy-looking guys in one of the corners, and he kind of like tooted his horn and then went, basically, look what I've got in the vehicle. People here, very, very suspicious of strangers. And I think are highly paranoid. They probably have a reason to be as well, because most of the foreigners that come here are basically trying to stop them, as far as they're concerned, from making a living. And the one thing that we are making very clear to people is that we're actually not Greenpeace, because everybody seems to think that we are. And at the moment, probably a good chance we'll be sent packing. It's dawn, and I've been invited on a raid with IBAMA, the government agency responsible for preventing illegal logging. So the Force Nationale have just turned up. They're going to go in with IBAMA. These are paramilitary police. They work for the Ministry of Justice. And should there be any violence, these are the guys that will hopefully quell it. They're heavily armed. They've asked for us not to go in the lead vehicles with them in case there is actually some shooting. The place we're going to, well, we're going to two places, two sawmills that have allegedly been sawing at night, cutting up trees at night. The only reason you do it at night is because you're actually cutting up trees that have been illegally felled.
Pessoal, alguma dúvida aqui sobre a situação?
I think we're about 2 kilometers away now. Go on, eh? I think our arrival was heavily announced by the fact there were so many of us. We'd been in town the night before. These guys have turned up. Everybody has just disappeared and they've locked up, and that prevents the guys from going in there legally. They're not allowed to break and enter now. So, pretty pointless exercise, I have to say, but there you go. You've got the massed armed forces of the Guard National. You've got the Obama, and got a padlock that I wouldn't even put on my bicycle in London for it being wrenched off, and that's preventing them from going in.
Just when we thought the raid had been a total waste of time, Obama has a breakthrough and gains access to the sawmill next door.
You've managed to detain 2 people, is that correct? Can you tell me, do you know what these guys are looking for, why they're here? Do you understand why they're here? They believe the trees that have been felled here have been taken illegally. Are you aware of that?
Eu penso que os madeireiros mesmo não destroem a madeira, porque a floresta, porque veja bem, lá eu já tive na cidade que a madeireira tira a ave e de novo refloresta. Porque eles não derrubam tudo, que acaba, que eu acho, no meu pensamento, que acaba as madeiras é os fazendeiros, que metem o esteiro e saem liberando tudo, né? Aí as nascentes do rio fica mais acabado, mas madeireiro refloresta, porque eles não destroem assim.
Do you think you're going to be in trouble now with the authorities?
Nós? Eu acho que não, nós não devemos nada, né? Nós estamos trabalhando para poder sobreviver e dar comida para os nossos filhos. Nós vamos morrer todo mundo também. Nós não, mas os nossos filhos daqui para frente, né?
Igualmente a gente que costuma ter bastante madeireira, vamos fazer o quê?
Having spent a day with the much-despised law enforcement agency, we feel even more vulnerable when we get back to town on our own. I can't help thinking that today was rather pointless. Although I have no sympathy for the sawmill owners, I can't help feeling a slight empathy for the plight of the impoverished loggers. By far the biggest problem is the clearing of forest for soybean and beef production. Today, the area of Brazilian Amazon devoted to cattle ranching is larger than the whole of France. Even if you don't eat beef, you probably use Brazilian beef product when you buy soap, cosmetics, toothpaste and sweets. In the past decade, 40,000 square miles of forest have been cleared to make way for the grazing herds.